What if the rage virus never truly died? What if it evolved? Welcome back to NarravueStories, where we break down the darkest, most intense cinematic experiences. Today, we're diving deep into the terrifying world of 28 years later, the Bone Temple, the next chapter in the legendary rage-infected saga that began with 28 days later and exploded further in 28 weeks later. This isn't just another zombie movie. This is survival horror at its most brutal. Nearly 3 decades after the original outbreak devastated the United Kingdom, humanity has rebuilt, but not everywhere. Some places remain untouched by civilization. Some places are worshipped, and one of them is known only as the Bone Temple. Let's break it all down. Act 1, a world that learned to live with hell. The film opens with haunting wide shots of a fractured Britain. Nature has reclaimed cities. London is overgrown. Highways are cracked and silent. But unlike before, there are signs of structured human settlements, fortified villages, watchtowers, solar grids. The rage virus still exists, but it has changed. Unlike the original infected who starved within weeks, scientists discovered that mutations in the virus allowed certain infected to survive longer, feeding on animals, even storing basic instincts. They are not smarter, but they are more patient. We meet our main character, Dr. Mara Listen, an epidemiologist born after the outbreak. She grew up hearing stories of the fall, but has never seen the old world herself. Mara lives in a coastal settlement called Haven's Reach, a controlled safe zone run by a military council. Trade routes have reopened between isolated communities. Humanity is rebuilding cautiously, but then something strange happens. A scouting team returns, shaken, traumatized. They claim they saw infected, kneeling, not attacking, kneeling in silence before a massive structure built from human bones. The council dismisses it as shock-induced hallucination. Mara doesn't. Act 2, the discovery. Mara joins an expedition team to investigate what survivors are calling the Bone Temple. The group includes Captain Idris Vale, hardened military leader Rowan, a young scout who witnessed the temple's sister Anya, a former nun who believed the infected are divine punishment Malik, a quiet but deadly tracker. As they journey inland, we see how the infected have adapted. They hunt in packs now. They avoid fire. They move silently through forests. One night, the group witnesses something horrifying. A pack of infected surround a deer carcass, but instead of feeding immediately, they wait. Then from the trees emerges a larger infected, pale, scarred, almost skeletal but stronger than the rest. The others step aside. Hierarchy. That's new. The next morning, they find it, the Bone Temple. It's massive, a cathedral-like structure built from skulls, femurs, ribcage, stacked and fused with dried blood and mud. Wind whistles through hollow eye sockets. Animal bones mix with human remains. At the center stands a throne of vertebrae, and around it, dozens of infected kneeling in eerie stillness. Not mindless. Watching. Act 3. The truth about the virus. Mara sneaks closer and discovers something even more disturbing. Some infected aren't fully gone. Their eyes track movement differently. Their breathing is controlled. She theorized that after 28 years, the virus has evolved into stages. Rages, classic fast, violent infected. Stalkers, slower, strategic, capable of waiting. The ascended, rare mutated leaders with partial cognitive function. The large skeletal infected they saw is one of the ascended. They call him the Shepherd. Through recovered recordings found inside a nearby abandoned research bunker, Mara uncovers classified files. Years ago, a secret lab tried to weaponize the rage virus, manipulating to create controllable aggression. The experiment failed, but the mutation spread. The ascended aren't just random evolutions. They are engineered. Act 4, the ambush. As the team debates retreating, they are attacked, not by a chaotic swarm, but by coordinated waves. The infected cut off escape routes. They drive the group toward the temple. Malik is killed. Rowan is dragged away screaming. Captain Idris orders a tactical retreat but realizes too late. They were herded. Inside the temple, torches flicker. Yes, torches. The infected have learned to carry fire without fear. Sister Anya believes this is the apocalypse fulfilled. She surrenders herself to the kneeling infected, whispering prayers. They don't kill her immediately. They bring her before the shepherd. The shepherd studies her, tilts his head. Then with terrifying sudden speed, he rips her throat out. Not out of hunger, but dominance. Mara realizes something horrifying. This isn't worship. It's order. The Bone Temple is not a church. It's a command center. Act 5, Humanity's Mistake. Captured and tied within the temple's inner chamber, Mara overhears military chatter from Idris radio. The council knew. They suspected mutation clusters, but they kept it secret to avoid panic. The real mission wasn't investigation. It was confirmation. The council planned to bomb the entire inland region if mutation signs were real, including them. Idris confesses he was sent to mark coordinates. Mara breaks free during a sudden commotion. Rowan, partially infected but still conscious, creates chaos among the ranks. He's changing, but slowly, proving her theory. There are transitional states. The virus doesn't just switch on anymore. It transforms. The shepherd notices Rowan. Instead of killing him, he approaches calmly, places a blood-covered hand on Rowan's head. The infected around them bow. Rowan screams as his veins darken. The shepherd isn't just a leader. He spreads mutation deliberately. Selective evolution. Act 6, Fire from the Sky. Jets roar overhead. The bombing begins. Explosions tear through forests and bone structures alike. The temple collapses in a storm of fire and debris. Mara escapes with a wounded Idris. But through the flames, she sees something chilling. The shepherd survives. Burned but standing. Watching her. Not chasing. Observing. As if memorizing her. The bombs don't wipe them out. They scatter them. The final scene shows infected moving in organized groups, migrating away from the blast zones. Adapting again. Final act, 28 years later. And evolving. Back at Haven's Reach, Mara presents her findings. But the council refuses to spread the truth. They claim the bombing solved it. Mara secretly records her evidence and broadcasts it across survivor frequencies. The infected are changing. This is not the end. This is the beginning of something worse. The final shot mirrors the original film's haunting emptiness. But this time, it's different. In the ruins of the temple, beneath ash and bone, we see movement. The shepherd, scarred but alive, stand before a smaller group of ascended. In the distance, lights of a human settlement. He turns toward it, cut to black. And that's a full terrifying story of 28 years later, The Bone Temple 2026. This film doesn't just continue the franchise, it transforms it. It shifts the rage virus from chaotic infection to evolving species. It asks a chilling question. What if the infected aren't dying out, but becoming something new? If you enjoyed this full breakdown, make sure you subscribe to NarravueStories for more deep story recaps, horror explanations, and cinematic breakdowns. Because in this world, rage never dies. It evolves.